people were talking about this kid in Florida who's just on another level. Tell us about your story, your elevation to where you are now, and how it went from the beis medrash to the basketball courts.
Before my first game in 9th grade, I was scared before the games.
Can you take us through the trajectory of, okay, you're in a yeshiva in Florida and somehow you end up playing with these D1 college recruits? Where did you start playing in high school? Where did you go to? And who spotted you? How did that all come about?
How does the yarmulke stay in your head? What is under there? Is it glued? Is it a hairpiece? What is it?
You gotta lock in.
Welcome to the Yeshiva League Pass Tip-Off Podcast, Season 2025. We are excited to present you another year of covering Yeshiva sports on Yeshiva League Pass. This episode is going to be one that really we've been looking forward to. And, as big as the story has become, it's even bigger when you get to know the inspirational Chaim Galbut. Before we do that, we want to talk about our sponsors. And even before we do that, I want to welcome my co-host, Dovi Neuberger, who
What's up, guys?
Some of you may know from all the Instagrams and the comedians shows that he's been doing. He does an unbelievable job. You walk into him, he's just makes you laugh, makes you feel good. So congrats on all that. And we are just excited for this season. We're going to bring you all the action, have our players of the week, and all the different stuff that you've come to love. The moments that happen that make all the memories of Yeshiva League sports. And we couldn't do any of this without our sponsors. We want to talk about, first, our main sponsor, ArtByLeec.
ArtByLeec. Sukkah's around the corner. And if you don't want to get in a fight with your mom about decorating the sukkah again, because you're 29 and single and the only one that's still supposed to decorate the sukkah, but you think it's stupid, do what I do. Go to ArtByLeec.com. We'll link it below. And just get these amazing, look at these, ready to go, beautiful paintings, put on a poster, and then all you got to do is tape it to your sukkah or use some lanyard and hang it up, and then no more fight with you'll still fight with your mom, but about something else, right? ArtByLeec, this sukkah, use promo code Dovi10.
Thank you. Then we have, everyone's talk about a rising story, Smash House. Unbelievable. They are opening up. There's a Brooklyn opening coming up. They're in the 5 towns, in the city. You name a borough, I don't know all 5, but they're probably in all of them. And they are just, we're sampling the food on the show that we're going to have. You'll see us eat a little, and, Chaim gets to enjoy it as well. Smash House is just the place to be to all your grub. They have a menu and diversity of all different things, and they're just incredible. And our other sponsor, I'm going to let Dovi talk about that one.
This episode is also sponsored by Nina Izikowitz, a top-producing real estate agent in the Teaneck, Bergenfield, New Milford, extended New Jersey area, a very good friend of mine, and an amazing real estate agent from what I hear from people who buy houses.
Yes.
I may never find out, but if you
do, that's the place you're going to go.
If you can't afford a house, then message Nina because she'll get it done for you.
That's the one. And then, it's a new season. We've gone through a lot of changes here. And, as your stories happen, we want to bring them to you, to all your friends, family. Yeshiva League Pass is a place to cover all your Yeshiva League sports. And we look forward to an unbelievable year ahead, and enjoy the episode with Chaim Galbut. Welcome to Yeshiva League Pass Tip-Off Podcast. This is a new season, and we are starting it off with a blast. We have a guest today that the public has been really clamoring for. They want to get to know. But before we get to the great Chaim Galbut, we're going to talk about our new co-host, my new co-host, with great Dovi Neuberger.
I didn't agree to be I didn't even change my relationship status on Facebook yet. I don't know. You're co-host already. Okay.
All right, listen.
Okay.
I'm going to shoot my shot, okay? That's how it is right now. But this is, not only a new season for us, we have this beautiful studio. So we appreciate Chaim agreeing to come on this podcast, and all of a sudden we're in the major leagues here. So without further ado, we're going to bring on Chaim Galbut and get to know him, and just fire away with some questions, and just really let the public know who you are. So Chaim, welcome to the show. We appreciate you taking time out of the beis medrash, out of your basketball practice schedule, and your family and private life to be able to join us. Thank you for that.
Of course, my pleasure. I love being here.
Excellent. So we are just so excited to have you. I can only imagine the whirlwind of a story that you have, that people are we're seeing these highlight clips. People have heard about you. I know way too much Yeshiva League basketball, but even a couple of years ago, people were talking about this kid in Florida who's just on another level, playing in the AAU and different things where Yeshiva League players have been talking about. And, just tell us about your story, your elevation to where you are now, and how it went from the beis medrash to the basketball courts.
Yeah. All right. It might be a little long. I'll try to sum it up. Not too long, not too short. But
for sure.
I mean, for starting back from the beginning, I really started playing ball when I was like 7 years old. That's like all the way back. My brother, I got my first pair of Kobe's, and my brother was like, he brought me outside. My older brother, Simcha, he's 25, but he was probably like 15 at the time, and we went outside, and he's like, listen, I'm gonna go with my grandfather, because my grandfather and his also, and they're gonna go out, and he's like, I want you to hit 100 shots, 100 on the right side, 100 on the left side of the hoop, layups. So I was like, all right, like, how hard could that be? But no, so he left with my grandfather, and I was on the left side struggling to score them when he came back, which was like a couple hours later. So, I was like, I don't know, 7, maybe 6. So that's like when it started, and then I always like played a little pickup and shot around my friends. But then like at the end of like 8th grade, I was like, I really like how I got myself into ball was like I was watching on like YouTube. I would see these like people like names. Like, I don't know if you heard of Jordan Kilgannon or Isaiah Rivera. These are like some really ridiculous athletes who could jump through the roof, and they're professional dunkers. So Could
I ask you one quick question? Were you always big for your age? Was it something where I mean I know
was always big for my age.
Okay.
Yeah, I was always big for my age, and I use it wisely, I guess you can say.
Right.
So I wanted to just be a professional dunker. That's what I wanted to do. I was like, I gotta do this. Like, I want to do a through the legs dunk, or like dunk on somebody. Like all these different types of dunks, like the crown dunk, windmill through the legs, behind the back, all these dunks. I'm not sure if you're familiar with any of them. So that's how I got into it. And then I just worked on in between classes, I would go to the stairwell and run up the stairwells. And I do calf raises on like the steps. There's like inches in between. So I do calf raises and then do wall sits. Over there in between classes. Then I go to class, and then the same thing again. I go back. That was like in the middle of 8th grade, and then at the end of 8th grade, I got my first.
Sound like a great student.
What?
I said you sound like a great student.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. No, I'm kidding. I'm pretty good.
Yeah, but by the way, where did you get this motivation from at such a young age? To like, you don't find that drive.
It's in the Galbut blood. I don't know if you know my family or.
We're getting to it. We've heard it. We've been talking to your dad. We can tell the competitiveness fire.
No, I don't. No, I really I love for the game. Like when I go on the court, I can't explain. Like just sitting there by myself with some AirPods in, it's nothing like it. You can ask a lot of kids. Like,
hold on, wait. The first question: what are we listening to on those AirPods?
I don't know. It depends. More like beats or mostly Jewish music.
I love Jewish music, and I know I've seen Dovi talk about it also.
I love Jewish music. I don't believe that's what's in your AirPods, but we'll do it. We'll go with that. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, everyone warms up at the AAU games to Morty Shapiro. That's what
come on. Usually they play on the loudspeaker on the JBL. I don't have to play. It's not my doings.
Can you fast forward a little bit for us and like take us in? Like we all see you playing with these like AAU teams, and we see the highlight reels, and like it looks very similar to camps we're used to watching, like Zion Williamson played when he was in high school. Can you take us through the trajectory of, okay, you're in a yeshiva in Florida, and somehow you end up playing with these D1 college recruits? Like, where did you start playing in high school? Where did you go to? And like, who spotted you? How did that all come about?
So 9th, 10th, 11th, I was in full-time yeshiva, the full day through 7:45 a.m. until 9 p.m., around 9 p.m., I think 8:45. And it was a packed day. And there were breaks in between, you got to have breaks. And in between each break, I literally would just go outside and shoot. I was up 5 a.m. in 9th and 10th and like part of 11th grade, just putting up shots in the gym at 5:30 a.m. Whether it was with a team called Beach High down here or with Nasala Katz, a close buddy of mine who would always just train with me and was always there for me. So, just the repetition and just going every day, like not knowing what is going to happen and not knowing what's going to become of what I'm doing, but just, going with like, we'll see, like put in the work and then we'll see what happens. Like maybe something could become out of this.
How was the support of your family during that time? Obviously this is not straight yeshivish box, right? So you're having this desire, and obviously, your parents see this special, these characteristics and these traits that you have. So how was that, the support system from within to help you get to where you are now?
I'll put it like this. I cannot ask for better parents. My father, the amount of work, and then he's been there for me since the beginning, and he's always telling me, and like there were mornings, and he pushed me, and he's like, I won't wake up this one morning. He'll be like, did you get up? And I'll be like, no. He's like, why not? You know, like always just like trying to make me like, all right, you want to be the best, you got to go work for the best. My mom always loving caring, like, you know, to go chase your dreams, and my siblings, and even my brother. I don't know if you got my little brother. He's coming. I don't know.
Oh no, another one. Oh,
He's coming. He's 6'4". He's 9th grade. He's 15 years old. He can dunk almost as good as me. I mean, you know.
how tall is your dad? Is your dad like 7'5"?
Yeah,
How tall is your
my
father?
dad's 6'3". My mom's 5'9".
Okay.
Wait,
There's
so
some
back
height,
to
and
the-
we eat a lot of protein, and we sleep a lot. So, you know.
I
two
sleep
go
a lot.
together.
I'm short.
I eat a lot of protein, and
I'm
we look
short
like
for my
this.
age. Yeah, I've always been short for my age.
Or you could
actually.
just daven to Hashem that you get tall, you know? I don't know. That's
Wow.
I haven't tried that yet. But wait, so and you're putting up these shots, you're putting in this weight, but you don't necessarily know where it's taking. Like there's no like trajectory, there's no team that you're on.
There's no Yeshiva high school team that you're playing, and you know.
So going into 9th grade, I told my dad, when I really got into it, I'm like, okay, you make a team. Like my dad, obviously best dad in the world. He said, all right, I'll now work on a team. And we made a team. There was like 4 games that year, whatever, but you know, it was fun, good time, not really in a league. Then 11th grade, there was like a Yeshiva league that started, you know, YTC, TTB, Zwags, all the Yeshivas played together, and we won the chip. And then 11th grade, it was even better competition, better players, and we won the chip again, back to back. And then, so at the end of 10th, that's where like a coach reached out, Coach Ralph Mata, which this happened in the JCC. There's JCC leagues, I'm sure you've heard of them or you've played in them before. So I was in
North
there.
Miami Beach,
North
JCC?
Miami Beach, yeah.
Got it.
The Galbut JCC.
What? No.
Isn't it the
And
Galbut
North
JCC?
Miami, not the Galbut
Oh,
JCC. No. No. So we were playing there, and I was playing there with my team, and I had like 30 something, and I locked up there. Like not locked up. I played pretty well defense on their best player who had like 9 Division I offers, and I was at Indiana. If you ever heard of that college.
Hold on, Dovi, you ever hear of
I've
Indiana?
heard of Indiana. Thanks.
And
I watched Hoosiers. It's a classic Tisha B'Av movie. Yeah.
yeah, no, Indiana. No, so he plays there now, and I played really well. And one of the coaches of Country Day, where I played for this past year, Miami Country Day School, was there, or I don't. Actually, he might have not been there. But one of the players on the team told the coach, and was like this kid's legit. I don't know where he came out of. I don't know where he's from, but he's legit. Like you gotta come see, or you gotta like do something about
Did he
it.
bring up that he wears a big yarmulke on his head also? That he's not your
Yeah,
traditional
I
kid
don't
that
know.
we found in the park?
We got into that
That's
later.
probably
but-
literally what he said. He was probably, yo, you got to check this yarmulke out. I don't know his name, but there's a yarmulke with a body under it that's dunking on us.
By the way, just quick sidetrack. Everyone's been asking, for the few people we told we're doing this, how does the yarmulke stay in your head? What is under there? Is it glued? Is it a hairpiece?
I can show you right now, honestly. Like
Okay, yeah.
here, look,
Okay,
there's
we wanna
clips
see.
inside. Like it's not that.
Wow. Okay.
Most from Yidden or any Jew really knows what
Oh,
this
yeah,
is.
but they're not sponsoring.
I was
so-
gonna say there's
yeah,
a free
they're not
promo for no, but that yarmulke stays locked in.
No, I don't know. I have a bunch of them. I wear, whatever fits on my head and can clip onto my hair.
So they saw you, and then I guess one thing started leading to another about you needed to elevate your competition.
Yeah. So I played and in 12th grade. I had a great year. I made first all team in my division. I averaged 16 and 11, and I had balled out. We won district champions. We lost in the regional finals. Tough game.
Wait, but how did it work with you were still going to Yeshiva, but playing on this other school's team?
So I was taking.
Yeah, I was thinking the same.
had an online. Okay, yeah. So for 12th grade, I pretty much my father worked on it for me, and I was able to learn in the mornings, from like 9:30 to like 1 beis medrash. And I went to my Rebbe
a light
shir.
4 hours, yeah.
Yeah.
I went to my Rebbe shir, and I learned how to chavrusas, and then I would basically since COVID they had an online system where there's like a Zoom class, and I took like 2 other courses. And it worked around my schedule, and it was just worked out great. Like whatever, it worked out perfectly around my sidarim, and
You mean they worked it around your schedule? I would assume.
yeah, but it's there's one Zoom class that's from 12:30 to 1:30, which is like
Right.
a couple times a week.
I'm just saying that they were probably very happy to make that work
No,
for
of
you and
course.
figure it out.
I mean,
Well, and what did that conversation with the coach of Miami Dade look like when you're like, I would love to play for you guys, but I got this thing called morning sit? Like, how did he Had he ever heard of that?
No.
Like you're like, I need to be in yeshiva at the same time. Like, what was his response to that?
Most people are like, well, they respect it because my father and I, we always know how to say it the right way. We're like, Miami Country Day, Coach Ralph. I was speaking to Coach Ralph. My father was the first time, and he's like, we can't play from nightfall on Friday till Saturday night. Like we don't do anything. Like it's because of religious purposes. And once you say that, they're like, oh, like they respect you. It's different. Like, cause you like they know. Like if we got to state,
Nothing to do with the 6'7" dunking windmill ball player. Like
Also,
all of a sudden
I have a feeling if I told them that, they still wouldn't want me to play for them.
yeah, might be out of a different answer than yours.
No, yeah. So you start explaining to them about like Judaism and you explain to them that you have to have a half a day of like religious studies, and they're okay with that.
Yeah, and then there's practice from like 3 to 6. Games like once or twice a week, which obviously I have to go to the game, and then I would go back to night seder pretty much every night.
How was the school, the Rebbeim, the school? Were they supportive of all of this? Meaning,
Yeah.
this is out of the box, but obviously they also know that you have this special talent. So how was that the support from them?
No, they were definitely supportive. I can't thank them enough. They're truly amazing. Like all of them.
Any of your Rebbeim ever come to games?
Yes, one Rebbe came to my game. Yeah, but it wasn't at Country Day. It was at JDS. Yeah.
Wow. So obviously there's going to be a ton of Yeshiva League kids watching this podcast, getting to know you. When did you first cross paths with the New York or the LA Yeshiva Leaguers, where you played in an AAU tournament? Because I like I said, I was telling Dovi off air, like I started hearing about you 3 years ago, just about this kid who's just like he's on another level athletically and the talent. And those were kids who went to the Maccabi games, at the different JCCs. When was your first experience where you actually competed against someone who plays in the Yeshiva League?
So it really started out with JDS last summer. So Coach Baril, which is the coach of JDS,
JDS is, for those who don't understand, that's what?
So JDS is an AAU team. We play in different circuits. It stands for Jewish Day School Elite, JDS Elite, and it's a team where like all the best Yeshiva League or Jewish.
Right. It's like the all-star
players,
team. It's handpicked.
And anybody who's listening should that team is legit, and you can go places if you want to through that team. So he called me and all the other best players in the Yeshiva League, and was like come check this team out, whatever. And I came. I flew to New York. It was based out of Riverdale Country School, and we trained in that gym, and we had a couple of games. That was the first year, and I was playing with all these players like Sam Weiss, Simcha Klein, Salma Katz, and this year Aiden Beatron, Jordan Cohen-Mintz, Joe Aaron. So it was not as legit last year, but it was like starting to get there. And then this year, I got a tech. They gave me a backpack. We had a bunch of games, 2 tournaments. We won one.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I think that's where really, you kind of burst onto the scene. So now everyone, it wasn't just a story, it was a visual, right? People got to see the highlight reels, you see in the crowd, you're watching these games, and all of a sudden, these people, from all different backgrounds, African-American, non-Jews, Jews, they're all just reacting. So it's not something that, you're doing just this story, but you're this talent that people are really witnessing. And I think the JDS Elite, or if I'm saying it right,
JDS Elite.
Right, JDS Elite really showcased that. So how was that, coming in? Obviously, the year before you had mentioned it was much on a smaller scale. And now all of a sudden you're getting all this publicity with what's going on. How did that feel? How did you able to manage that with all these other kids who are stars also, but obviously not in the level that you are? How were you able to, work that all out?
It really was a big.
Like, were they receptive to you right away? Obviously, when you have a talent like you, I'm sure they want to win. But how was that interaction? Your background is different than their backgrounds, even though we're all, Jews and everything, and we, obviously have a lot of familiarity. But what was the reception like from them, from your team?
Well, they were. I think that I definitely became very close with them. Like some of these kids are already like my best, some of my closest friends. So it definitely was like like side fact all like the religion stuff and whatever. Like also like once you're good on the court, like there's a connection. Like it's through basketball. Like once like someone else is good and you're good and you guys are playing together every day and you're also Jewish, like you just become friends. And like, you know, like some of these guys, like my best friends, I call them all the time, text me every day, you know. So it was amazing, you know. I would do it again in a second. JDS was the best.
Right, I'm sure they would take you back for many more years to come.
And back to Miami Country Day, like, well, can you tell us anything, like, any interesting interactions you had, like, as you're getting to know the players, obviously, and none of them are Jewish, and they're just like, what is going on here? You're on the road with them. It's a lot of time.
Did they even say the name Chaim?
I have so many good stories. Let me tell you, I got plenty.
Well,
give us the kosher stories.
Huh?
No, I'll kosher stories now. You'll tell me the non-one kosher ones later. Yeah.
So right when I walked in the gym, like they knew who I was beforehand, and they knew everything because like basically the summer before going into high school, into 12th grade, I played on their AAU team sponsored by Under Armour called SOH Elite, School of Hoops Elite. They're all over Instagram. They got some of the best players in the country on their team. Ricky Liebert, Sean Abayev played there. Emmanuel Hansel, a lot of guys know who that is. So you know those players. You know, so I played there, and then I would practice in their gym. So all the high school kids were just around, and they knew me from practicing with the AAU team. So going into high school, playing on their team, going for practice in the afternoons, they all like, you know, they knew who I was kind of already, most of them at least. But you know, as we got like more friendly and like, you know, I got some of their numbers and we became like closer. You know, like it's. First, they love like all these restaurants, you know, like Chipotle and you know, Chick-fil-A and whatever.
Do you feel? And I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. No.
I was just saying. Do you feel, obviously you're coming into these games and you're representing your family, the Jewish nation. Obviously, it's, you know, you're wearing your yarmulke and your story. And also, as I think Dovi and I are getting from you, you're a killer competitor, right? You want to win. That's why we play the sport. So how do you balance that when, you know, someone might do something a little elbow here? They're not because you're Jewish. I'm saying just the regular things that happen in basketball, but also knowing that you got to keep your composure because you have these people following you. Kids now are watching. You know, that's not an easy thing when you're 17 years old, let alone 37, 57 to do when you're kind of like provoked. So how do you are able to keep that within and still, you know, do your thing?
So first I look at it as like just like any other game, really, like playing pickup with my friends. I mean, I'm definitely more intense and more like, you know, trying to win and getting after that ball and going to die for that ball. But, you know, I don't think that really it makes a difference. I know, I mean, I do have standards. Like I know, like I'm a Yid, like it's different. I'm a Yid, you know, I have my own things, you know. I'm not going to break down and go crazy because, you know, something, this or this happened, bad call. I might be like, you know, ref, like, come on, but I'm not, you know, you got to keep your composure and just stay, you know, humble and relaxed. And I think that because at the same time, you know, people do realize like aside from the Kiddush Hashem, I don't want to make a Chilul Hashem, you know, like Kiddush Hashem will come. It comes by itself just by being a great baller. You don't have to do much, just by dunking on somebody. That comes, you know, and I'm so, you know, grateful that I can do something like that. You know, I don't take it for granted, definitely not.
Right. Have you had a chance to speak to the Ryan Terrells, Tamir Goodmans, even Zevi Samit, like people who are kind of, you know, so what has that been like? Those conversations, you know, what are they empowering, telling you about?
First, I mean, I don't know which one to start with. Tamir Goodman is amazing. I went to Yisrael and he had a training lesson with me, pushed me hard, and he's always there, you know, if I need to call him or anything, be in touch. So much advice he can give, you know, he's been through it all. Zevi is the nicest person. He's the best. You know, he's nicest, and he obviously, you guys have seen his videos before. He's sweet, you know, hearted.
I was his counselor when he was a kid before he was the best. But yeah.
Yeah.
So he's a good comedian also, or no?
He was definitely always a competitor. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So he's just a nice guy, sweet. You know, always, you know, same thing, like, you know.
But a killer on the court also. It's like
the
same
no,
thing.
you don't want to mess with him. He'll shoot the ball and somehow it goes in every time. I'm not sure how, but trying to figure that out. And then Ryan, obviously, everybody knows Ryan Terrell. You know, YU legend. You know, G League, Israel professional player. He's different, and he's always there. He's like, listen, like, you know, Chaim, like, I'm always here, texting me and calling me and telling me, you know, we got to speak. You know, come to lunch with me. telling me, giving me good advice. He definitely has a lot of good advice to give. I definitely would go over, talk to him, and I do talk to him.
And I'm sure those are things that you'll pass on to, the next Chaim Galbut or whoever that is going, in the future. What's the best nickname that you like? Obviously, the hammering, there's a million, but obviously there's something that someone must have said once that you're like, hey, I like that one. What is it? Give us one of your favorites.
I don't know.
If you have, you may not have. I don't know.
I mean, Barstool called you the Jewish Jordan, which used to be Tamir Goodman's nickname.
Right. That's not as original.
I'm not trying to be somebody else. I'm trying to be myself.
I'm not trying to be Michael. Okay.
No.
Have you spoken to? I saw Denny Avdia tweeted your stats. Did he reach out to you at all? No.
No.
It's a little wild. It's on the bar.
Is there beef there or no? Like,
was that him or that was a fake or like a different account?
I think that's a fan account. I think.
There was a fan account who was like reposting me and stuff. I don't know I don't think it was him. But my favorite one.
We'll call him after. We'll ask him. He was our option number 2 for the podcast for the kickoff show.
Right, but he doesn't have great English, so we don't.
Honestly, you should have took him from the NBA. Listen.
Right. What we're saying out there is for anyone who's interested, they should DM Yeshiva League Pass a good nickname because you're still looking for one. You don't have something that Flying Chaim or I don't know. I was trying to come up with some, but
I've gotten my favorite one. It really wasn't in the comments, and it's been with me since like I don't know 9th grade, 10th grade, and I've always it was called the Hebrew Hammer. So
right, which was that.
I don't know if that's my favorite one, but I like that one. I do like Victor Webb and Yarmulke. That's definitely a good.
I like that.
And then there's Shekel O'Neal.
That
one made me laugh. But yeah, I don't know. I guess those are my top 3 right there.
Mitzvah Mamba.
What is it?
Mitzvah Mamba.
I didn't hear about that one.
I think Dovi, that's an Dovi original.
There's so many, honestly.
Eitan Levine called Zevi the Muncie Mamba, so I was going Mitzvah Mamba.
It works. It totally works. By the way, speaking of dunking, obviously, tell us about your first dunk that you did like just in the driveway at the JCC, and then the first time you dunked on someone, that feeling of like, I own you. I just did that to you.
Put them on a sukkah poster.
Exactly. Oh, one of our sponsors is a sukkah poster company,
sukkah
by the way. Where are they? There. Hold on.
For now, we have the Kotel Sukkah poster sponsor. Coming next year, a customized sukkah poster of Chaim Galbut dunking on the opponent of your choice.
In your sukkah.
Your sukkah.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, but no, tell us about.
Can I get
tell
one?
us about that.
What?
All
right.
Sure.
Tell us about that first time.
Yeah, first time was end of 8th grade, going to 9th. Going to 9th grade, it was at Camp Monk. No. Romamu?
Hold on, that's one of Dovi's top 5.
I don't remember. Romamu or Monk? I think it was Romamu.
I think for the purposes of our audience, Romamu and Monk are the same camp. So go ahead.
Romamu. It was probably Romamu, Camp Romamu. I was like kept on working during the summer, but not like I didn't really do like plyometrics or like a lot of like weights and stuff. But I just kept like trying to just get there and do it and like dunk.
I heard Monk's plyometrics program has been on the low recently. Yeah.
I don't think they have one, honestly. I haven't been there in years. So yeah, it got to be Romamu then. I just one day I was just feeling it, and I went up and I just did it 3 times, just like right there, 3 times in a row, like one. And I was first like after the first time I was like,
did you have a witness right away? Did you had to get
someone? Yeah, there was a guy in the gym. I forgot his name, but he was there.
Wait, could you video it, or they're not allowed to have smartphones?
I mean, I was trying to be like nonchalant, like like I do this all the time, so trying to like whatever. So but these guys were pretty shocked. I was like, I'm going to 9th grade. They're like, what? Whatever. But no, you couldn't video it. Then I came back to my house and whatever, and I tried for like another 4 months, and I could not dunk again for somehow. I don't know. Maybe the hoop was short or whatever, but I could not dunk again for another 4 months.
Probably your brother elevated it by 2 feet. He just wanted to like keep you in check. It said you got to keep working, Chaim.
Yeah. No, I went home and I have a video of it. I think my dad has a video of me just going out there for like hours, just trying. I got it, and just since then, just again and again and again and again,
And then what about in a game? When was when you dunked over someone? Like we saw in
my first dunk in a game. Oh, I don't know if it was over somebody my first dunk, but it was. I just got the ball on like a 1-2 and just dunked it, and I was like.
You're like, I like it up here.
I was like, it's a different feeling. I can't explain it. Like, you get up there and just dunk it. Like, a lot of
in my day,
I can't
you
explain
just feel like,
it either.
you know, like, you ever heard of the expression, like, you're him? Like, for that split second.
No, we don't know. We don't know.
You think you're him, you know?
But by the way, back in my day when you took layups before games and you slapped the backboard, that was like, you put your chest out. Like, that was a big deal. So.
Right, that wasn't his. You guys played with a 3-pointer then, or no?
It came into my high school. This the year that he put it in. So
Wait, so speaking of summer, you were in were you in Shoresh this past summer?
I was, yes, counselor.
So how was it? Having to you're obviously playing at JDS AAU level, but then having to elevate it even higher for ArtByLeec. That must have been crazy. I know I've been on camp league teams with him, and he's got rules that no professional coaches have. First of all, did he let you dunk? He used to have a no dunking rule.
that's because no one could dunk.
Yes, he let me dunk. Just no taking down the rims.
He let you dunk.
There's no taking down the rims.
There was no taking down the ribs.
No, I
He probably
can't.
played a ton of 2-3 zone this
No,
summer.
he's really the best. Brother is the best. He is a great coach. He gets mad whenever I miss dunks, which any other coach would. So it makes sense, you know.
I hate that when our players miss dunks. Terrible.
It was enjoyable, very fun. I'm not gonna lie, we had some
But is
good
it
games.
hard to adjust playing at such an elite level? And that, I've watched some like Heller Manavu games. They're pretty elite.
He
but
probably had to play left hand tied behind your back, slides only, wrong feet on each slide.
no, but
Like,
I'm
sure
saying,
there
do you approach the game differently at all? Like,
No, yeah, maybe a little bit. I'm more like chilled out. Like, I don't like go crazy, not too hard. I mean, we did play one game and it was like a wrestling fight versus some team. I'm not gonna say the name of some camp.
Yeah, I'll find
Whatever.
out
It was
after.
intercamp game. They had the home
Dovi's
court
on the job.
advantage.
He's gonna find
And
out.
every time I got in the paint, it was like they were trying to just bring me down, like a sumo wrestling contest or something. Whatever. It was intense. But we won every game. Shoresh hasn't lost in like 4 years, so they have some great ball. If you guys want to go get some good ball and play some good high-level basketball, Shoresh is the place to go.
I think we cut you off like a few minutes ago when you were trying to tell us a story about like when you first started getting close with the guys on the AA team, Miami Dade team. Can you finish that story?
So it kind of just happened over time being in the gym. And then they saw me like, I was able to like chill with them. Like, I'm not like, totally like, they're human, I'm human. Like, it's kind of similar. I could connect with them.
You're just better at Tosfos. That's it.
So I had a story one time I was learning before my game. And I try to learn a little, maybe like, I usually learn Kiddush Hashem Aruch, but I was learning Baba Kama before my first game, and there's like a couple dudes on my team, and like 2 or 3 of them came.
Hold on, Dovi. Explain these words to me later. What are you saying?
Yeah,
The
sure.
bubble
I'll
comment?
get you.
Got it.
And like
Were you confused by all the books there?
2 or 3 of them like came to sit around me. They're like, "All right, teach you what you're learning." And I was like, "All right, like there's shore, there's bor, mava, hever, an ox, and a damaging, this and that." And they were like trying to understand. And the next thing you know, I look behind me and the whole team is there. Like, everybody, and like they're just all surrounding me, like listening and like like me in class, like, yeah, I got it, Rebbe, don't worry. Like them too, like they're making it seem like they understood everything.
I would have started with the Arbavos and Ezekiel to the first lesson for the Miami-Dade basketball team.
So wait, this was the whole Drizzy squad?
No, this was Country Day.
This is
Country Day.
different Chavrusa group. Okay.
No.
Well, so Drizzy is, it's not Drizzy, it's
Drifty,
right?
Drifty.
Drifty, yeah.
Drifty is the owner of the
AAU
team. That's his name, or Jordan Lewis. But he has a nickname called Drifty, and it's just Drifty Cold Hearts. That's the name of his team, cold-blooded, Cold Hearts.
Right. What was, obviously this has been, what has it been, like a 3 months? Tell us about just going from someone who's known in Miami, in the Florida area, known to some of the outlets of Miami-Dade, and now like really a social media phenomenon. You're 17 years old, I believe 17, right?
18. I turned 18 a few months ago.
18. I'm sorry. Oh, so if you're 18, it's much easier. But no, you're 18 years old, and you have all this like people coming at you, just like autographs. We saw some videos with that. How have you been able to just like take that all in and really stay so grounded as I think the way you sound and the way you're answering and the way the public is getting to know you. How have you been able to do all that with in such a short amount of time? Like, is it your parents like there behind? I mean, obviously we know you said your parents' support
listen,
system.
I don't take any of the.
Right? Is it good friends or
It's not,
is it like?
it's not me. It's not. It's people that have been with me. My family, my coaches, my siblings, my brother. You know, just always there for me, pushing me, telling me, you know, go do great things. Like, you know, and for any of the kids who want like, you know, good inspiration or something, like don't ever like don't not believe in yourself. Like if you have the courage and you have like, and you think like, wow, like maybe I can get there. Like, you know, you could. It's not. It might seem like, oh, it's not realistic, but it is realistic. And, you know, you know, trying to be just the best you can be in whatever you want to succeed in. Just strive. And, you know, don't let anything stop you.
How do you think learning in Gemara and having the discipline of a Seder, like you said, you're starting at 7:45, going till 9:30, do you think that's helped you also become, you know, be able to like maintain your scheduling, maintain your focus, and having that wherewithal to sit through a day like that? Because that's a long day and there's a lot of structure in it. Do you feel like that has actually helped you, you know, put you where you are, you know, now as well?
Yeah, no, 100%, 1,000%. Because like, especially for me, like let's say there's like let's say there's a day where, you know, I go on the court and I missed every one of my shots, or I didn't play the way I wanted to. Like I know, like I go back to the beis medrash and I'm just like, you know, like, it's like a different world. Like you just zone out and like, all right, now I'm here, lock in, like a new, you know, going back and forth. But before you go into this new world, beis medrash, you got to be like, all right, God stays on the court, and time to focus. Try to stay focused, lock in. Like, what are you learning? Try to like, you know, repetitively trying to understand what is going on. What's Taisa saying? What's Rashi saying? What's the Gemara saying? So, you know, I don't try to like, you know, be like, oh, okay, now I'm upset since I played bad or I didn't win the recess. Now I'm gonna go back on the court. Now I'm gonna go back to the beis medrash and be like, oh man, gosh, like that sucks.
Right. I mean, you have a maturity about you that obviously, you know,
that I have yet to possess. Speaking of the beis medrash and the court, we have a little cameo. Someone actually sent in this message. They want to ask you a question. Can we play the video? This is a random fan message me. I don't even know who he is.
Chaim, what's up, bro? Question for you. If you decide to pursue basketball seriously, and we know that the kippot is a derabanan, so technically when you're playing your sport, you don't have to wear a kippah. I understand why you wear a kippah, but if you decide to pursue basketball seriously and go to a legit school for basketball, are you and will you continue to wear your kippot? Let's go.
Come on. And he said, let's go. He knows the answer. Let's go. Obviously, I'm going to wear the kippah and the tzitzis. Come on.
Do you wear tzitzis when you play?
Most of the time, yeah. Almost
It
every
doesn't
time.
get hot under there?
You can't. It's like the ones from Israel, the short sleeve, and they're like dry fit material.
I saw some of the Drizzy kids were rocking them also.
Yeah, Drifty, I got them free pairs. They're like free stuff. I'll take it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. It's like it's gonna be like the new arm sleeve. You know, they think it helps.
Yeah, they
shoot
see
better,
the strings.
dunk
They're
better.
like, all right, this is tough. I'm not gonna lie. So they.
It wouldn't shock me if you go to the park and see some guys playing around with.
Yeah. Tell them to get to your hops. Hold on, let's take a break for a moment because I think you look a little hungry. I think you might have some food in
I
front
won't
of you.
resist the Smash House. You know.
You Smash House? So yeah, you have what do you have there for
I
Smash House?
got a combo loaded smash, yes cheese, crispy onion, and I don't know if I've tried this one before.
It sounds
right,
like the Galbut special. Like
one bite, everyone knows the rules.
right. Can we trade one?
Yeah, I know. For all who don't know, I already washed and had a piece, like
Same.
20, 30 minutes.
If my
Same.
Dad, if my
Thank
dad
you.
asks.
Thank you, Abba. We did as well.
I feel like that old Michael Jordan commercial where he's hating McDonald's.
All right, we're gonna let you swallow, and then you're gonna give us your review of it. You know what you like about it, what you don't like, or you know, speak the truth. He's speechless. Look at this.
Hold on. I had to get in one more bite, you know. I don't know how long this talk show is going for, you know what I'm saying? But no, you guys, whoever's watching this video, I don't know what you're doing if you're not eating Smash House right now, honestly. Like, it's dinner time. It's 6:15. Like, if you're not eating Smash House, you're not eating anything. Like, this is the way to go. A Smash House burger with cheese on top, like, that's it. That's what you need.
That's par of cheese. His dad made us say that. His
Yeah,
par of
no,
cheese.
it's par of cheese. I mean, I hope you know that. I mean, Smash House, it's not burgers
Right,
with
so
milk. It's a fleishik restaurant.
Wow. So first of all, it is good, by the way. Dovi, what'd you have there? You had.
I had some of these popcorn nugs right here.
I got a bunch of stuff on it. I got some crispy onion too.
10 out of 10.
You're gonna have as much Smash House as you want. We're gonna make sure you're fed well. So now you're actually headed to the Eretz Yisrael for the year.
Mm-hmm.
And how is it going to be? Obviously, now you're in a totally different environment, surroundings. You're away from your parents. Obviously, they're always with you, even if they're not physically there. But tell us about, what's your day going to be like with learning and playing basketball in Israel and still, having time to do both there.
So I'm going to Israel to learn. To go learn and sit and just sit in the base medrash and just focus and try to just there, to learn and Gemara and pound, just go back, and just sit there for hours. That's what I'm going for. You ask what I'm doing, I'm saying I'm going. If a random person or somebody, a lot of people ask me, what are you doing next year? I'm like, I'm going to Israel, Eretz Yisrael, to go study and connect with God or connect with Hashem. That's what I say. And ball, I'm getting. There are times in between Sidarim where you could go, play ball. There's pickup. I set up already some trainers. There's a weight room down the block from me. Definitely, like just how I did 9th, 10th, and 11th grade. Same thing now. I know how to do it. I've done this before.
Right. So you feel like you already were able to maintain that structure with the combining both different passions of yours that you're able to do.
Do the Rebbeim, let's say in the yeshiva you're going to next year, know know of your notoriety in America and know like that you're on a little bit of a different trajectory? You haven't spoken to them about it.
I have no idea.
Really?
Yeah. They know. I told them I'm coming. Like, I think that the person who gave me an interview was shocked a little bit. I did that. I didn't say anything, but I was just like, yeah, like anybody else, going to learn. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah.
All right. Hey. Do you get noticed ever, like walking around?
I'd rather stay home, honestly. No, I'm kidding.
Oh. No, that's exactly.
That's like Dovi, by the way.
What's like the worst or weirdest thing someone said to you in public? I find that people.
Well, I'm just getting. I think I'm getting started here, but like I'm new to this kind of stuff.
So start.
The worst and weirdest thing. I do have a funny moment with some kid, but the worst and weirdest moment.
I mean, we saw you sign a deodorant bottle online.
Yeah,
what's that? Like signing your first autograph.
Some kid was like this. He was like trying to hide his face. He was like. And I was like, "You wanted me to sign this?" It's on video too. I don't know if you see that, but
he probably smelled awful. That kid. He doesn't use his deodorant.
He better use that now. I'm saying.
Right.
But I did. I don't really remember any funny moments. I do have people like, "Oh, you're that guy." I'm like, "What guy? What are you talking about?" I've said like that one before. I've gotten told one little kid, not one little kid. He's like 18. One kid was like, "Are you him?" And I was like, "I'm him." And he was like, wow, whatever. That was a funny moment. But besides that, no, I don't. Most people are like, "Oh, you're Chaim Galbut." I'm like, "I'm Chaim Galbut," or I just say, "That's my brother. That's my brother, or my dad." No, okay, that's my dad.
When you step on the court and like, are there like Jews that have come to random AAU games just because they've heard of you and want to watch?
Yeah, yes, for sure.
What's the biggest crowd you've ever played in front of?
The biggest crowd I ever played in front of.
I don't want to say the loudest crowd because that was probably the Drifty World Tour that you just had. But the
that was pretty big too. That was.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like people were hanging over. Like,
yeah, no, like that last game, probably a few thousand, maybe not a few thousand, but I don't know.
And do you hear it? Is it different to you? Like, do you feel those nerves, or you just lock in and like it's like you're playing your backyard?
You gotta lock in. It's all about locking in. Like I used to get I used to get scared. Like before my first game in 9th grade, I was like scared. Like before the games, I was like, my stomach was like butterflies, and I was like, oh, like I lost all my energy because like when you get butterflies, for all athletes who know, they're scared before a game. They get a little like more fatigued. So that's kind of what happened. And like there was like 10 people in the crowd. Like my dad and my mom was there. I was like, come on, this is like pickup, And I was like really like I was scared. Like I was scared I might play bad, blah blah blah. But now like. It doesn't matter. Like it could be an NBA game, and I'll go out there like the same exact mindset. Like I'm going to kill.
Put on that Jewish music in his AirPods, and all of a sudden he locks in. Oh,
what have there? You've spoken about how accepting your teammates have been, accepting your coaches have been, about the different schedule, the no playing on Shabbos, and at a different angle, what would you say has been the biggest challenge, like being an Orthodox Jewish player in this totally non-Orthodox world of AAU basketball?
I think that everything is pretty much, doesn't really bother me that much. Maybe what bothers me a little bit is just trying to, connect with the players. Like, sometimes they do things like they invite me to parties or something, and I'll be like, no, I can't come, bro. Like, I wish, I'm sorry.
You're waiting for a better party offer.
No. Or we're going, like, the team's going to the restaurant, you want to come? I'm like, nah, like, I'm sorry. Like, one time we had a pool party by my friend Dalton Simon. He's a great baller, by the way, great basketball player and a great guy. And went to his house, and his parents are so nice. They made me, like they got me food. Like, they know, like, what kosher food is. They got me kosher food, and they put it on, like, a different side of, like, the backyard, like, patio, back there. And, I wasn't with the team, so, like, stuff like that, it just, like, gets in the way a little bit. But besides that, I think, we became, I've made some amazing relationships and friends with these guys,
Right. Well, I want to ask this. We're going to close in a few minutes. And first of all, I wanted to see if your parents at one point be willing to come into the video with you, just to let the people see the people who raise such a mensch, because I think I see it. I think your audience is going to see it, the kind of person you are, and obviously that having, you said, the backing of your family and your parents is very important. What's the biggest message that you want kids to know about Chaim Galbut right now, about what you're going through, and what do you want people to understand about your story that can help them with whatever they're doing in their lives?
Or not even help, just like what message?
What
do you think people don't know about you?
You have this platform.
What do you think people don't know about you that you wish they did know about you? Like,
I'll tell you, I'm just like them. I'm just like that kid who was playing pickup in the park, playing with friends in the gym, shooting around. But I wanted to make something out of it. I was like, hold on, I can do something with this. Like, when you see something, you're like, hold on, I'm talented in something. Like, what can I do that? What can I do? Like, how can I use that? So I think that, I would say, like, through adversity, like, people are gonna shut you down so fast and like tell you no. Like, I've had colleges and coaches reach out to me and they say no right away. I'm like, I don't play in Charlotte. They're like, well, we don't want you. Like, we don't. That's happened so many times. I can't tell you. So, I'm like, all right, that's cool. Like, don't worry, you'll see me soon. And I'm like, all right, let's talk to somebody else. Let's see, boom, boom, boom. So I think that, like, you shouldn't feel like, to those kids who are like, they have like dreams of being somebody, being something, and there's stuff like, oh, this gets in the way. I can't do this, that, Shabbos, Tovim. Like, you got to realize that, like, it's possible if you have, the heart and the will to do it. Do all that adversity, and you try to shut all the haters out and the people who don't believe in you, because that's what I did, and that's the way to do it.
Right, unbelievable. I mean, I think your story. Would your parents like to come, or any siblings there? Would they like to come into the picture for a minute? Who's not camera shy? We have to get some.
My dad's right here.
All right. Come on, don't worry. Just a few million people are watching. Let's go.
Okay, just go to say hi quickly. There you go. Just say hi. There you go. Guys, crouch down.
Hi. First, give us just 1 second. Just want to say what a mensch that Chaim is, and honestly, I wanted just people to see that the platform that he has and the messages that he's giving. I mean, this is what we do as Jews, and we have an opportunity to really spread what we love, and that you can accomplish anything. I think it's a testament to both of you and how you raised him and his brothers and sisters. It's a wonderful story, and that's what I think Dovi and I and the fans out there wanted to get to know and understand you. So anything you guys want to say just about the way Chaim is, and when he's not playing basketball, and how he represents you and the family.
He's always a good neshama. He's always been like a good, easygoing kid. Thank God. We're gonna miss him a lot when he goes to Israel, and we're very proud of him.
Mrs. Galbut, have you learned a lot about basketball in the past 3 years?
My mom was
played basketball.
I try to wear it.
Oh,
I don't know if you guys saw it in Drifty. I wore number 10 because my mom wore number 10 in high school.
Oh, we didn't know that. Wait, what sport?
My
The triple doubles are maternal. Who knew that?
Hold on, your father wants to get a word, and he's like, I was a good ball player myself.
No, my dad obviously, we know that, but for all, like, my dad always says, like, that athleticism comes from my mom, so,
I don't know about that. From mom. Yeah.
My dad once took me to a Knick game in high school, and my dad's Canadian, And I remember this. Amari was playing, actually, I think, and Tyson Chandler fouled someone. And then my dad thought they were going to play 5-on-4 because that's what they do in hockey. That's how much he knew about basketball. So I guess it helps that your parents are basketball fans.
So nice to meet you guys. I heard such amazing things here, and it's such a huge nachas for my wife and I to share Chaim and for Chaim. This is Chaim's journey, and we're like holding on to Chaim's tzitzis, and we're saying, okay, you're gonna dunk, just don't forget us, and he's always there to make us feel part of it, and we're so proud of him. I tell him, two things I see just in terms of, and all my children really, I think, see, and we're so proud. I just want to mention all of our children. They're so amazing. They show so much love to Chaim, and he shows so much love to them through all of this, and we're just so proud of all of them. And I tell them, two things. I say, first of all, when we say JDS Hashem b'simcha, it's something that you carry everywhere, and learning Torah, the chrayas, and we talk about it all the time. I
want to say one thing, like if you're from Yid and you want to play ball and you're learning, you got to do both. Not both. You have to be focused. Like your priorities come first. My priority is learning Torah and connecting Hashem and going to beis medrash and Shabbos, this and that. Not even in question. Like ball is here and learning and Hashem and Torah, everything being a yid and a mensch is through the roofs. It just doesn't compare. So once you have that and you focus on that and you work on that daily and you know what your main priorities are, then you could try to move on to the next step and try to accomplish other goals and other things. So for all the kids who are like that, make sure you know what your priorities are before you start getting into something.
I couldn't have said it better. I was going to say, to take the simcha from everything that he's done and everything that he is in his house and in the beis medrash and with his rabbeim and so much covered for his rabbeim and his friends and his cares about so much about everybody. And to say, I want to share that love on the court also, while at the same time, I know the guy that I'm trying to dunk on is not going to be upset with me because it's just a game, and there's all that love, even when he's flying over them, and he may look at him with a little snarl, but they feel that love too. I'm sure they do in some way. And then I think the second part, which is something that we learned from my father, the Zadio, and, which is just, you have to master your dreams.
Yeah, don't let your dreams.
You can't let your dreams be your master.
Be your master.
You got to master your dreams. You can't, came out of Mitzrayim, we're not Avadim, but at the same time, we're Avdei Hashem. And if between that balance, it's not easy. It's a very unique journey because, we want to see Chaim to be b'simcha in a way that's unique to him, to be what his name is, You say a nickname. It's hard to give a nickname to someone who, who's Chaim.
The gentle giant. I don't know. It's just something with his demeanor would be good also too.
So we just it'll just be big Chaim. That's what they call him.
They call me Big C. Big C.
Big Chaim. And anyways, we couldn't be prouder. And thank you so much for inviting him to be part of this.
Thank you.
Thanks to of course Shmaz's house, where they spent some other stuff too for us, and they're super loving, and everybody should just enjoy and don't forget your brachas.
Amen. Well, listen, we want to again thank you for joining us, Chaim. You were wonderful. This journey has just begun. We're all excited to watch, rooting for you. Hashem knows where it's going. He'll fill us in one day, and we hope you achieve all your dreams and stay in the base, do your thing there, do it on the basketball court, and just live it out and keep inspiring generations to come to really watch your story and see how it unfolds.
Thanks.
Thank you so
I
much.
will. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.